The morning of October 15th, 2023, began like any other autumn day in the quiet suburbs of Los Angeles. Emily Colbert stepped onto her front porch. She found something that would change everything she thought she knew about love, family, and the mysterious ways animals understand what humans cannot. There, curled against her door, was Luna, her gray tabby cat, with a tiny golden retriever puppy nestled against her fur. The puppy couldn't have been more than 3 weeks old, eyes barely open, breathing shallow but steady. Luna looked up at Emily with those amber eyes that seemed to hold secrets, as if saying, "Trust me on this." This wasn't Luna's first rescue. The Colbert family had adopted her 4 years earlier from the local shelter, where she'd been found as a starving kitten behind a dumpster. From the beginning, Luna showed an unusual instinct for caring. She'd adopted injured birds, comfort frightened rabbits, and even once tried to nurse a baby squirrel back to health. But losing her own litter 6 months ago had broken something inside her. The veterinarian said it wasn't uncommon. Maternal cats sometimes fall into deep depression after such loss. Emily knelt down, studying the impossible scene before her. The puppy was clean, warm, and clearly cared for. Luna's belly showed signs of recent nursing, though Emily knew the cat couldn't produce milk without her own babies, yet somehow, this puppy was thriving. "Where did you find this little one, Luna?" Emily whispered. Over the next 3 days, Luna brought home 2 more puppies. Each morning brought a new arrival, another golden retriever pup, each one healthy despite being far too young to survive without their mother. The neighborhood began to buzz with whispers and worried glances. Mrs. Henderson from next door knocked on Emily's door Tuesday evening, her face tight with concern. "Emily, people are saying Luna is stealing these puppies from somewhere. What if their real family is looking for them?" The accusation hit Emily like cold water. She watched Luna through the kitchen window, gently grooming the third puppy with the same tenderness she'd once shown her own kittens. Could her beloved cat really be taking these babies from their rightful home? By Thursday morning, the whispers had grown into complaints. Someone had called the police. Officer Martinez arrived at the Colbert home shortly after noon, his expression professional but kind. "Ma'am, we've received reports about missing puppies in the area. I need to ask you some questions about your cat's recent behavior." Emily's heart raced. She led Officer Martinez to the back porch where Luna sat with all 3 puppies, now growing stronger each day. The officer studied the scene, his trained eye taking in details Emily might have missed. "These puppies are golden retrievers, probably from the same litter," he observed. "They're about 3 weeks old, which means they still need their mother's milk, but they look healthy. How is that possible?" Emily shook her head. "I don't know. Luna brings them home each morning, and somehow they're thriving. She's been acting like their mother, but I know she can't actually nurse them." Officer Martinez crouched down, watching Luna's interaction with the puppies. Something in the cat's behavior caught his attention, the way she kept looking toward the old Morrison house at the end of the street, the abandoned property that had sat empty for 2 years. "Has anyone checked that old house recently?" he asked. Together, Emily and Officer Martinez walked down the quiet street. The Morrison house stood dark and weathered, its windows boarded, yard overgrown with weeds. But as they approached, they heard something that made them both freeze, a weak, desperate whimpering coming from inside. Officer Martinez radioed for backup and animal control, then carefully pried open a loose board covering a back window. The smell that escaped made Emily cover her nose. Inside, in what had once been a kitchen, they found her, a golden retriever, barely alive, surrounded by the remnants of what had clearly been a larger litter. The mother dog was skeletal, her ribs visible through matted fur. Her eyes were clouded with exhaustion and malnutrition. Beside her lay 2 tiny puppies that hadn't survived. It was clear she'd been trapped in this house for weeks, possibly abandoned by previous owners who'd simply left her behind. "She's been trying to keep her babies alive," Officer Martinez said quietly. but she doesn't have enough strength to produce milk. Emily felt tears sting her eyes as understanding dawned. Luna hadn't been stealing puppies, she'd been saving them. Somehow, the intuitive cat had discovered this dying mother and realized the puppies were in danger. One by one, she'd carried them to safety, bringing them to the only place she knew they could survive. The mother dog was rushed to the emergency veterinary clinic, while Emily and Officer Martinez gathered the evidence of what had really happened. Dr. Sarah Chen, the veterinarian, worked for 3 hours to stabilize the malnourished mother. "She's severely dehydrated and underweight," Dr. Chen explained. "Another few days and she wouldn't have made it. As for the puppies, they've been surviving on whatever small amounts of milk they could get, plus the warmth and stimulation your cat was providing. It's remarkable they're alive at all." The story spread through the neighborhood faster than morning sunlight. Mrs. Henderson arrived at Emily's door that evening, not with complaints, but with tears in her eyes and a bag of puppy formula. "I owe Luna an apology," she said. "And you too, Emily. I should have known better." The local news picked up the story by Friday evening. Luna's photograph appeared on screens across Los Angeles, a gray tabby cat surrounded by 3 golden retriever puppies, her expression both proud and protective. The headline read, "Heroic cat saves abandoned puppies, becomes unlikely mother." But the real magic happened when the mother dog, whom the shelter had named Hope, recovered enough to be reunited with her babies. Emily held her breath as they brought Hope to meet Luna and the puppies on the following Sunday morning. Hope approached slowly, weak but determined. The puppies immediately recognized their mother's scent and began crying with excitement. But instead of pushing Luna away, Hope did something extraordinary. She nuzzled the cat gently, as if saying thank you. From that moment forward, Hope and Luna raised the puppies together. Emily watched in wonder as the 2 mothers shared duties, Hope nursing and Luna providing warmth, grooming, and protection. The puppies, unaware that anything about their family was unusual, thrived under this doubled love. The story went viral within days. Videos of Luna grooming puppies while Hope watched approvingly received millions of views. People from across the country sent donations to the animal shelter where Hope had been treated. Local adoptions increased by 300% as families were inspired by the story of cross-species compassion. Emily received hundreds of letters from children who'd heard Luna's story. One 8-year-old from Chicago wrote, "Dear Luna, you teach me that families come in all shapes. Thank you for showing us how to love." But perhaps the most meaningful response came from Dr. Martinez, a child psychologist at UCLA, who wrote, "Luna's story demonstrates something we're only beginning to understand about animal cognition and empathy. Her ability to recognize another species' distress and take action to help represents a level of emotional intelligence that challenges our assumptions about animal consciousness." The 3 puppies grew strong and healthy under their unique family structure. 2 were adopted by loving families within the neighborhood, ensuring Luna could still visit. The 3rd, a particularly spirited female they named Joy, stayed with Emily's family permanently, becoming Luna's devoted companion. Hope recovered completely and was adopted by a family in nearby Pasadena, but not before establishing a bond with Luna that defied explanation. Even now, months later, when Hope visits for playdates, she and Luna greet each other like old friends reuniting after a long journey. Emily often reflects on those October days when everything changed. She'd always known Luna was special, but watching her cat demonstrate such profound empathy and determination taught Emily something about the nature of love itself. Love, she realized, isn't limited by species, circumstance, or even biology. It's a force that recognizes need and responds with action, whether that means a cat adopting orphaned puppies or a community coming together to support abandoned animals. On quiet evenings, Emily finds Luna sitting by the window that faces the old Morrison house, now renovated and occupied by a new family. Sometimes Joy sits beside her, both cats watching the street with alert attention. Emily wonders if Luna is still listening for animals in distress, still ready to spring into action if needed. The veterinarian who treated Hope later told Emily that cases like this occur more often than people realize, animals rescuing other animals across species lines. But rarely are they witnessed and documented so thoroughly. Luna's story became part of veterinary literature, studied by researchers trying to understand the depths of animal empathy. Winter arrived early that year, but the Kolber household felt warmer than ever. Luna had returned to her old playful self, though she remained protective of Joy and watchful of the neighborhood. The depression that had consumed her after losing her kittens had lifted, replaced by purpose and joy. Late one December evening, as snow began to fall outside, Emily found Luna curled up with Joy in front of the fireplace. The cat's purr was deep and content, her amber eyes reflecting the dancing flames. In that moment, Emily understood that she'd witnessed something rare and precious, not just a rescue, but a transformation. Luna had discovered that sometimes the greatest healing comes not from receiving love, but from giving it away. The old Morrison house stood bright and welcoming now, its windows glowing with warm light, its yard filled with children's laughter. But Emily knew that Luna's vigil continued, and somehow that felt exactly right. If you enjoyed it, then watch our next video shown on screen.